Hello, sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, where, once again, we're not talking about Quantum Leap, but we're back in Miami in the 1980s with Miami Vice. I've selected the second of three episodes that will come up on this wheel eventually, and I've chosen, given the season, Shadow in the Dark. Season 3 episode... It's either somewhere between 6 and 8. Early days. Early days.
It is 6. It is episode 6.
There you go. Early days for season 3, and the transition over from Michael Mann executive producing to Dick Wolf executive producing, which the Dick Wolf era, that shit gets rough.
Hello and welcome to the Madlock podcast, where we decide to
twist. It's about that reboot Matlock with Kathy Bates. No, it's not. I'm joined by Michael Movian and Sean as usual.
If we were doing a Madlock podcast, it would 100% just be the end Griffin.
Oh God!
Is it weird that I'm falling in love with old detective shows? What is Chibnall done?
It's like it's like you have at least you okay. Columbo, yeah, I get it. Jessica Fletcher and Murder She Wrote, yeah, okay, I can kind of see. Matlock, it's like, where are you going? And Dick Van Dyke and Diagnosis Murder is, oh my goodness gracious. But
maybe you're going after old television actors, but yeah. I mean, you could do better.
But
what? This... Okay, I'm right now looking at my DVD shelf. Oh yeah, also Castle with Nathan Fillion.
Well,
yeah, Nathan Fillion's a good actor.
Yeah.
Good, reliable actor.
That's fine. So the Shadow in the Dark is a very interesting. So Dick Wolf. There are differences between the Dick Wolf approach and the Michael Mann approach. I'm just gonna generalize because there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen when it comes to Miami Vice. It's not like an auteur program, so you can't just put it on.
But you can clearly see the difference. Like that, we need to get that off the bat right now. Oh. You can clearly see the difference from Michael Mann having the reins to Dick Wolf having the reins and Michael Mann basically barely having a part in it.
Which is really funny when you consider what Michael Mann was doing around this time. This episode aired on Halloween night 1986. And 1986 is also when Michael Mann released a motion picture called Manhunter, which is an adaptation of one of the Hannibal Lecter novels. It might be the first, I don't know. It eventually got remade as Red Dragon. With a.
It's the first Hannibal Lecter novel called Red Dragon. Okay. Michael Mann's adaptation of it very much cuts out a lot of the stranger elements that would be embraced by Brian Fuller's series Hannibal. Most notably, there's no mention of William Blake.
Well, like you do. But even so, Manhunter is a really excellent movie. And it has a lot in common with this episode, Shadow in the Dark, because they both have these people going after these deranged, mysterious, inscrutable criminals who are going around terrorizing the populace and trying to get into their headspace. And that's a danger, because if you gaze into the abyss long enough, it gazes back at you and you become part of it. That's a major thing with Dick Wolf's run on Miami Vice. There are two endings for a Miami Vice cop. And notably, when we get to the finale of Miami Vice, neither of those endings happen because narrative substitution. But we saw the first with Evan, where the job hollows you out, and then you tragically die, and that's it. Lights out. When Dick Wolf comes along, he likes the end of, oh no, being a vice cop has ground down your soul, and it's let in the long dark night, and you've become corrupted, and you become the shadow self that you pretend to be. It's like if Sonny Crockett became Sonny Burnett.
Which, if we're being honest, is kind of a mid-sev episode. It's not really that great. They do better with other episodes, most notably Shadow in the Dark.
It's only Shadow in the Dark because
this is very clearly when Dick Wolf has stated multiple times that he is an avid fan of Dragnet and Dragnet style police procedurals and storytelling. He likes it when the cops are shown as the heroes, 100%. But you can play with that.
Now,
what gets me about this episode is while you can see some of those aspects, what happens to the first cop who's put on this case in this episode is very not Dick Wolf.
Now, and here's what makes it good.
It's very much more akin to what happens in a Michael Mann story, though I think the more peak Michael Mann of the episode is the opening minutes with the serial killer stalking the house.
Oh, that's
more like
creepy
an
as fuck.
eldritch being rather than an actual human in thief who steals pants for vaguely occult reasons. All set to a Brian Eno track that is haunting.
So you made the perfect comparison there, calling him an eldritch being, and that's why this works more than the later Dick Wolf, ooh, the darkness of my soul things, is that they have to get there by, frankly, fridging and making men feel bad by hurting people close to them. I'm looking at you. I will not forgive you for what you did to Caitlin Davies, Mr. Wolf. But this episode, instead of that angle...
Hackman says hello.
Hackman can go fuck off.
Wait, what about the one who was killed in the boxing episode?
Zito, yeah.
Zito.
Well,
Zito's another one.
That's a whole. That's an entire other can of worms. But the point I'm trying to make.
That's another can of worms that leads to Spice Tech basically becoming an evil person.
Yes. Well, but the point I'm trying to make is instead of typical trite fridging or male hurting drama that you come to see in later seasons of Miami Vice, the darkening of the soul that happens here is that because this weirdo is like almost this Lovecraftian terror, and in trying to understand him, you go a little crazy yourself.
Yeah. What was the thing? It's like he it's like the in the very first few minutes of this episode, you really get a sense of just how depraved this individual is. He walks into the house. You don't know how he got in. You don't know how he was able to do these things, but he walks up to the family's bedroom door, sees them, but instead of doing anything, he turns around, walks out, walks to the kitchen, pulls out a bag of flour and a thing of steak. He pulls out a butcher knife. You think, oh no, and then he does this almost like occult ritual, and he pops his jaw like he's trying to pop his jaw. And you're like, what?
And then he pulls out a bag of flour.
Yeah.
And just throws it on his face and wipes it down. And
he hasn't hurt anybody yet, but this is obviously a deranged danger.
Yeah, he is very clearly they see this picture. Another thing though is that on the bedroom wall, or I think it's the bedroom wall, where the family is sleeping, he draws this same picture again, but every time he adds something to it, or he moves it along. So this picture keeps growing and growing and growing. And you really get the sense of just how off this guy is. Even when you don't really see him in the episode, you see the first cop who tried to understand him. Oh boy.
And he's already pretty much a loose cannon. Lieutenant Gilmore, who is in charge of this game, he's already pretty much a loose cannon because, the citizens are outside and they're like, oh, when are the police going to protect us from this wacko? And he basically almost tries to punch this guy out. I was like, how dare you say that to me?
Yeah, he's basically saying, he's like, we're doing everything it takes like it literally takes like Sonny and Tubbs to hoist him back from how like he is almost about to strangle this man, and they have to yank him back.
And this is just a normal person. This isn't the killer, or this isn't the villain. This is just some guy on the street going, "Hey, this keeps happening. What the hell?"
And well, maybe that was just an isolated outburst. Why don't we go interrogate this fellow who's in a wheelchair? Oh no.
Yeah. Before this, they meet. They basically they run into. My brain's not working at the minute. They run to Castile at the police station. At nighttime. Our beloved Castillo, who's probably one of the best characters in police fiction. Lieutenant Castillo basically tells Crockett and Tubbs that Gilmore wants him off the case. Wants him right off the case, and Sonny's like, "Fine, we can just go." What? And then Castillo finishes himself. He says, "He wants you gone. Department doesn't. If he says anything, you tell me. Department wants you working on this case." And that's when you start realizing, oh, that even they know that something's gone wrong here.
Yeah, this all climate axes with the guy breaking into someone's house and standing atop the icebox claiming, "This is the guy. The guy's in here."
And shooting the icebox, I made that.
Yeah, and then we pan outside to him being taken away to the funny farm, and we see the guy. We see the burglar in the room, silent and smiling in the most unsettling way imaginable. Jesus fuck.
Yeah, Christ. And now it's Sonny's turn to be like, "I can understand this weirdo. If I can understand him, I can get him. I've gotta get him, Chief. I've gotta."
Yeah, it turns out that Gilmore. That's the weird thing. Had Gilmore not snapped the way he snapped, he would have figured he probably would have figured it out, because the very first time Sonny sits down to look at the case, to look at the very case he has, he got it down to the house next door.
Well, it took him getting to not quite the same place as Gilmore. Let's say about 0.75 Gilmores of a mental unraveling and lack of sleep for him to get it.
Again, this ties into the occult nature, working outside the logics of reality in favor of a higher logic outside of reality. He is basically finding himself in an occult relationship. This is, in many regards, a precursor for what Hannibal would do in the mid 2000s.
Oh, there you go. And also dreams, because he has multiple dreams about scary nightmares to jump scare us about. Ooh.
Yeah, and
which when did Twin Peaks come out again?
89, 90.
89. I thought it was 91.
No. Late 89, early 1990 is when Twin Peaks started.
Yeah, why is it that almost I think all 80s, if not cop shows, mystery shows have an episode like this?
Because
mystery shows in general.
In their defense, it literally was the Halloween episode. They played with it and went and got spooky.
Also, I think it's because of at the time there was a massive satanic panic.
That also, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also, yes.
Because as we all know, Satan's army consists exclusively of D&D players.
Yeah, Jesus.
Or people who listen to rock music. But what I love,
the most satanic of fans.
What I love about this is that it really does show just how dangerous. It's not even that the burglar is dangerous. It's it's literally just the idea of we have to track this man. We have to find what he's doing. And when you start trying to get into his head and look at all the stuff that he does, that's when it goes. That's when you start getting in levels into. Sean, when did the movie In the Mountains of Madness come out?
That's not for
In Mount Madness.
95.
Hold on, let me double check. In the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness
is the never produced Guillermo del Toro film with Tom Cruise.
You mean the one with Sam Neill, right?
Yes, I mean the one. Yes.
94.
It's also a very good
That's
movie.
also Lovecraft, right?
It's like Lovecraft and Stephen King put into a blender with the copyright filed off, basically.
Okay, because that's what this feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's the writings in the book, but that book, but it's you cannot look in here. For whatever you do, you cannot look in here. And so Sonny, at this point, is already starting to show many of the signs Gilmore did when he finally broke down.
Yes, the evil's inside you.
Yeah, and Tubbs is literally watching Crockett as he's grabbing the victim, the latest victim. And he's going,
God.
You have to tell us everything!
Okay, I need to back up a bit because this is like the one bum note in the episode for me. The fact that the killer escalates in this predictable fashion. So there's been warnings in the description. So yeah. One of the people's houses he breaks into, the lady wakes up and he advances on her. Cut to commercial. She's in the hospital. He made an attempt on her.
Yeah, this is honestly tying back to Thomas Harris, the original writer of the Hannibal novels, wherein he was a lot of the villains in Thomas Harris's work were sexual predators as well as serial killers. Though, if you look at the history of serial killing, bar one notable exception, bar one or two exceptions, the vast majority of them were sexual predators.
I actually pulled up. Funny enough, there's a Miami Vice wiki. People who do know this more, than crazy people, but it literally says, like, right up here at the top of a paragraph, the woman is taken to the hospital, badly shaken but not sexually assaulted because the shadow was incapable of doing so.
Even so, the attempt is still a bit, that crass sort of drama, and it leaves a sour taste in my mouth, especially when Crockett is badgering her. What did he wear? What was he wearing? What color was his shirt? Tell me, we need to cut this guy.
And she shuts down.
She's just
just shuts down.
She's just sobbing. I can't remember.
Yeah, and once she shuts, she just breaks down, shuts down, and Tubbs has to literally drag Crockett out of the room. And Castillo's like, I'm thinking just handing this case back, and Crockett's like, no,
this is my case. I
We
know
have
this
to
guy,
find...
Chief. I know this. I'm inside his head. I know how the sicko operates. We're so close.
And then Castillo pulls a Castillo move, looks at Sonny, and says, "So did Gilmore, and look what happened to Gilmore because he looked in too far."
Which is wild because then there's this whole thing where they think they got the guy, but it's not the guy, and Crockett takes one look and is like, "That's not the guy." And then Gilmore, in the psychiatric ward, gets mailed a newspaper with lipstick drawings on it, taunting him and being like, I'm still out there.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. To the orderlies and the doctors who allowed this newspaper to be given to Gilmore. You don't think that maybe you should have, I don't know, take the paper and give it to the police? No, you're like, here you go, Mr. Gilmore. Let's break your sanity even more.
Well, that does track the psychiatric community with regards to policing, which,
Yeah,
Oh, good.
It just Castillo's like, we found him. I think Castillo is a little bit apprehensive, but to them they think that they have him. The DA, on the other hand, goes, no, we are not going to. We are not going to. We're not going to open the case. The Crockett nearly loses his mind,
which he's not
and
really losing it.
and Castillo throws him off duty and tells Tubbs he is not allowed on the streets until he cools off.
And even after that, Crockett is still on this. He's like looking at the photos, like, this is the house. This is the house. I know this is the next house he's gonna hit. I know this guy. I know this guy. Tubbs, believe me. You gotta believe me, Rico, please.
Here's the scariest thing. Had they not listened to Gilmore and Crockett, and they basically had Crockett do, if they had basically, just said put Crockett out until he calms down, Gilmore's locked up, they don't listen to him anymore. This woman would be the final victim would be dead.
Which
Somebody would
has
be
some
dead.
implications regarding police. He's mainly with regards to how we treat the police in fiction as always right, even when it's clear that they're freaking insane and kind of shit.
Well,
you would like an episode by the name of Where the Buses Don't Run.
Oh my god! But also, this theme is present at the end of the episode when he finally gets the guy, when the woman is looking at him with the same abject horror as she was looking at the creepazoid, and he just has to pull out his badge and just go, "I'm a cop! I'm a cop!"
Yeah, Don Johnson is a really good actor.
Yeah, Don Johnson. Like, Don Johnson... That's the thing about Don Johnson. Don Johnson got typecast as a cop, several years. He went from Miami Vice to Nash Bridges. Nash Bridges is not Sonny Crockett in any sense of the word.
Okay.
For starters, it's a lot more optimistic a show.
Yeah, it's a lot more optimistic a show, number one. But number two, Nash Bridges is a lot more... not confident. It's...
competent?
He's a lot more... Yeah, he's a lot more just open. Especially even to, like, being in a higher degree of rank than Sonny. But Nash is much more, like, joyful. He slightly pranks his co-workers. He goes around, does jokes. He actually, like... But when it comes down to following a case, Nash will sit down and go, you do this, you do this, you do this. We've got to solve this case. Well, Sonny is just like, everyone leave me alone. Tubbs, come here. We got to figure this out. It's like the same movement, but it's a very different feeling, if you get what I mean.
Right.
And it's almost terrifying when you see Crockett see this woman with this scared eyes, and he's literally holding his badge like, I'm a cop.
And note in the scene also that because he was struggling with the burglar, he's got flour caked on half his face too.
Well, not half his face, like a bit on his cheeks.
Okay.
It's still on him.
It's on him. I mean, there's even a scene where he's like sitting there with flour, and he's looking into on a table mirror, and he's putting the flour on his own face to like get inside the mind of this crazy man, which is wild.
Yeah, and
no, but there are two amazing shots at the end of the episode after they get the guy. Where the first one is, okay, so, they're leading him in, they're taking him into the cop car, and the guy's looking at Crockett and he's like, you live here with me, don't you? You live here with me, don't you? And I don't know if you noticed, but the way the shot is framed, Sonny is leaning against the wall, and the cop car is in front of us. And the way it's framed, they put the guy in the back seat, and you can see Sonny in the back mirror right behind him. They're both framed in the same thing, one and the same.
And they do that again after he's taken into interrogation.
With the dream.
Yeah, the dream of interrogation.
Yeah, and here's the problem. I don't think this last scene was a dream. I mean, I think it was a dream, but I mean, it was like dreams, like we've said with Boogeyman, dreams can be like exaggerated memories.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like what I mean. What I mean by that is what I mean by that in context of like in Miami Vice, usually or sometimes the suspect likes to get rowdy even when they know they've been caught. They have been known to do crazy things in the Miami Vice headquarters. They've gone it, or they are known to go crazy, and this guy is no exception to that. So Castillo basically says, you know, you're on desk duty for a few days. Calm down. You have him, but I'm not losing you over the edge that Gilmore did. And Crockett like, I'm fine, but Castillo doesn't change his mind. He's just silent, walks out of the room. And then you literally hear while all this is going on, you hear that the interrogator basically asking this guy questions, and it's the most bare bones. I live in a house on a street.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then he looks up.
Yeah, and then he looks up.
Don't eat that. You'll get sick. I am sick. Ah! And when he turns and says that, you see Crockett's reflection over half of the guy's face. Now that is a fucking mirror alert.
Yeah, yep. And he as soon as he says that, up grabs the chair and lobs it into the window.
Oh my god, it was all a dream, or was it? I think part of Sonny Crockett's soul has been forever darkened by this encounter with the abyss. And further encounters with the abyss will come.
You know, when you think about it, this could be the first step, actually.
Yeah, well, one of them. I mean, all the loss and pain and death.
First step is the first episode, probably.
Yeah. One of them, yeah. If you're gonna say like throughout the scene, yeah, it would be the car bomb. Then it would be Rodriguez's death. Then it would be Calderon's death.
It's just a slippery slope of pain and suffering for these Miami Vice kids. But again, to emphasize, with the Dick Wolf era, there was a lot more of that. This is actively pushing you into the darkness.
Yeah. With Michael Mann, they really wanted to focus with Michael Mann, and I love Michael Mann's 2 seasons when he was alone in charge. But with those, they were really trying to be like, I can just brush this off, and you can clearly tell they can't. You know, it still affects them a bit. With Dick Wolf, he decided to go, no, like we're just like it's deep in you.
Yeah. And I mean, it had mixed effects. It depended on how the trauma came about. When it's like this, when it's an eldritch horror that just warps your psyche and taxes your sanity, works pretty good. When it's a fridging, not so much.
Season 3 of Miami Vice is very clearly the turning point in that.
I think the turning point is, as you said, Zito.
Yeah, it's season 3 as a whole, but yeah, the turning point is Zito.
The exact halfway point.
Yeah. This is when Miami Vice went from nothing, we're caught. Yes, bad stuff can happen in Miami, but we can soldier on. We We can do things. We can make a difference. And then season 3 hits, and you get stuff like Shadow in the Dark, where Sonny almost loses his mind, or Zito loses his life because of a boxing match and a a kid he trained, or Swisek failing to save a suspect from diving out a 15-story window.
Shit, what episode was that?
That was the one afterwards, after Zito died.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay.
Which, to be fair, it's kind of hard to forget, kind of to remember, considering Zito's death, which is simultaneously an extremely crap story that barely engages with the implications of Zito's death, and also an extremely shocking moment. Like, the actual scene where Zito is found dead, it's set to that somewhat Christian song, is haunting.
Yeah. The actual scene of Switek finding Zito's body is well done. It's just the drama after that is non-existent.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I think I mused when I was talking about Miami Vice while watching this. You could have replaced Zito with the boxer in the episode dying as the cliffhanger, and very little would change. You'd lose a little bit of the drama, but very little mechanically in the story would change, and that's just fucked.
And that's what kind of hits is it just Dick Wolf literally came in, and as soon as Dick Wolf came in, the series became that much more looking into the soul,
the long dark night of the soul.
Yeah, and that's why you ended up getting episodes like this, or Zito's death, or the season arc with Caitlin, or Tubbs's child somehow.
God, the whole Tubbs. That's the season 3 finale, isn't it? With
I think it's Tubbs's children maybe
Calderon's kids and that's a really fucked up one.
Where Tubbs never finds out his children may have survived.
There's no may have involved. They did live.
They did live. He never knew.
And they never follow up on that, so you don't know.
But, no. And that's what I'm talking about. Dick Wolf, there is a very clear line in the sand. Michael Mann is trying to be, yes, it's hard, yes, it's tough, but, if we soldier on, we can make a difference. Well, Dick Wolf's is very much like, we can't stop crime or the evil in the soul. We can just hang on till we either get blown off the tree or rot and fall to the ground.
Or the third option that we eventually find in Freefall. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
Which damns the whole world.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the finale of Freefall where, basically American imperialism personified is railing against them. We can take down the Banana Republic. We can do as many CIA war crimes as we want. And who's going to stop me? A couple of shitty vice cops? I can kill whoever I want. Fuck this.
Yeah.
It's bleak and cynical, but...
Yeah, like, literally, Crockett and Tubbs hears this guy going off and goes, you know what? Drops his badge. Like, he even says, I will have your badges. And he goes, you want our badges? Take them.
That's the only way to escalate against the dark heart of America, is to say, fuck it.
If that scene was written even a modicum of difference, I bet you anything Castile would have also set his badge down. Because Castile was there too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I like to think that they went and made a difference after the fact beyond, the limited system of the Miami Police Department. But that's just me. But do you have any other thoughts on Shadow in the Dark?
Yeah, Sonny moved. Sonny moved.
Sorry, I'm just imagining what would happen if they actually did a Quantum Leap Miami Vice crossover.
Oh.
How would Sam Beckett confront the dark heart at the soul of America?
They've done what was it? They've done I think they've done like mystery shows crossover before. Actually, funny enough, Murder She Wrote did one with Magnum PI.
Oh God. Well, that's close. That's close. Uh,
Yeah, but that's not
yeah.
that's not
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
If I had
Yeah.
to guess,
Stanley.
if I had to guess, the best way to do a Miami Vice version is to kind of do it like they do with the historicals, where you come to a slightly worse future as the original history, and you make things just a little better. Go very microcosmic with it. Make one person's life better. That's kind of how you do it.
Go. Yeah, I almost said it. I would make it a season 5 episode.
Of course, well, yeah, of course.
Because duh, I would make it the season 5 episode. I would have Castillo be the person that Sam leaps into. Number 2.
Castillo, really?
Yeah, because while Sam's in the past trying to work on this case or work on this, you have Castillo in the future with Al trying to work out the problem from that angle.
Okay.
So you have Sam with Vice, Castillo with Al.
Okay. Edward James Olmos and Dean Stockwell in the waiting room. You've sold me on it.
Yeah. Castile is major enough that he would have an impact on the story, but not the main two guys.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you get anything interesting if, say, Sonny or Tubbs were taken in to the future, because that would probably just have them go, oh, the future, but the dynamic between them would be lost because it's Sam trying to figure it out.
And here's another thing. That speaking of crossovers with Quantum Leap, this is why the crossover some people write, where Sam leaps into the companion of the Doctor, does not work.
Yeah, like my Doctor Who Quantum Leap episode is basically just they go on Enterprise.
God, I mean that's how people wanted Enterprise to end with him going, "Okay, Al, I'm ready to leap."
No, what was the thing? There was this, and I've seen the first episode, and I've seen the clip where they said this, and I can't believe it if this was actually meant to be that way, but in the first episode of Star Trek Enterprise, right before you meet Jonathan Archer for the first time, it plays apparently in the soundtrack the last second or so of the leaping sound.
Wow.
So yeah, people have basically come up with the theory that the entire series of Star Trek Enterprise.
I see how it is. When the final episode's a holodeck recreation, we all want to burn it at the stake. But if the entire show is a Quantum Leap episode, that's okay.
Yeah, although that does raise several questions, like, so Sam actually did Dear Doctor.
Sam actually did all the war crimes in season 3.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, God. A Night in Sickbay, starring Sam Beckett.
No! Oh, God, no. This is actually a terrible theory. Abort. Can we talk about what we thought about Shadow in the Dark?
This is the best episode of Miami Vice.
Really?
Oh, this is, well, not the best, one of the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I second...
I love it.
Because, like, this episode is that look into the mind of someone like this. Someone who's just so depraved and so out there and so foreign to most but the fact that it drove one cop insane and nearly drove another cop off the deep end that's fascinating. And and I love how Gilmore at the end is given, and Sean's probably with me on this. I love how Gilmore finally gives the middle FU to the suspect, to the perpetrator. Because it's not Sonny who finds. Yes, Sonny finds the picture, but they won't listen to just Sonny. So he goes to Gilmore.
Yeah.
And Gilmore, with all the strength left in his head, all the sanity that's left of who Gilmore is,
picks the house. Yeah.
Picks the house.
So, Sean, I'll meet you halfway and say that this is the best Dick Wolf era episode of Miami Vice. The pilot exists. In the Air Tonight exists. Shadow in the Dark can't quite hit that IMO. But still, incredible. It's very refreshing that in the darkening of the soul doesn't come from a fridging, but a Lovecraftian nightmare masquerading as a weirdo who breaks into your house to make a mess of your flour and eat your steak raw.
And your pants too.
And your pants, yeah. So, any other thoughts, or is it wheel time?
I got one, which right before Fresno finally spins the wheel after 2.5 months.
It's my turn?
No.
It's mine.
Oh, way to give me hope, Mike. Wow.
I thought it was Fresno.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, whoever's spinning the wheel, when we're ready, spin the wheel.
But before you spin, the last thing I have to say is, again, Dick Wolf. Yeah, Dick Wolf isn't one of my favorite. Dick Wolf isn't one of my favorite writers, and especially nowadays with his personal comments about police officers.
I'm sure they're exactly as I can imagine. Don't elaborate, please.
Yeah, but sometimes when you look at a Dick Wolf, when you look at especially Miami Vice, which is that early Dick Wolf where he's not really 100% law and order, go nuts, go crazy. But when you look at his Miami Vice era, it really at least in the beginning he still tried to link the episodes back to its roots without he didn't want to do as funny stuff, but you could very clearly tell the divide, but he tried to give some links to it. And then Zito's death.
Wow.
And then he basically went, that's all the funny stuff done. We can go on.
That's all the fun stuff does, he says. So, well, meanwhile, next time I spin this on the wheel, next time we spin Miami Vice on the wheel, join us for Missing Hours.
Oh, God.
Is that the... No.
I feel good.
No, there's this one.
Okay, yes. Bushido with Dean Stockwell and the Kate Bush. We've mentioned this a million times.
I was gonna say, you're gonna do Miami Vice and never once pick a Kate Bush episode?
Of which there are 2?
Yes.
And this is the better one? Yes, okay.
Like
I just really wanted to make that joke, okay? And when you said
I love him. Yeah, what's hilarious is the freaking Castile centric episodes are like some of my favorites consistently.
Oh yeah. I mean, his you want that connection? His wife is fucking Josie Packard from Twin Peaks, and then they recast her as Keiko O'Brien for season 5. So that's something. Are we ready for wheel time?
Oh yep. Boy. I'm just gonna say this: if it's a book, re-roll it for right now.
We have no re-rolls, and we've only.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we're only venture, and this has only been one episode since we've been on Baseline Con, I believe. So.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think if I get Miami Vice, I'll re-roll.
Fair. Anyway, do the thing. Cackling coming in 3, 2, 1.
A Little Miracle.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay.
The Christmas
That's funny.
episode.
That's funny. Going from a Halloween episode to a Christmas episode. That's funny. Considering I've already started to see the odd holiday ad pop up on YouTube and on television.
I've heard. I've been hearing. Do you guys hear that?
Mike, I am not putting her in this podcast. No. She will remain sealed.
She will remain sealed until.
She will remain sealed. She's Doctor Who Review's problem, not mine.
But yeah, like Little Miracle. That's also kind of funny. Season 3 of Miami Vice. Season 3 of Quantum Leap.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so next time Christmas is coming early with a Little Miracle. So you can find us lovely people at the Blue Skies down below. I've got my Twitch streams Monday and Thursday, and I've been linking the highlights on this channel. And I've also been doing spooky media analysis on my blog, Fresno'sRavenAnswer.blogspot.com. So those are the things I've been doing. Mike, what are you up to?
I have a blog, Michael Hoovian Thoughts, at blogspot.com. I have a letterboxd, Michael Hoovian. My latest, I've watched something that I need to put on there. I'll probably put it on there either today. I'll probably rewatch it before I put it on there. I finished watching Genesis of the Daleks, and
okay.
Yeah, it is still a knock out of the park story. And another one I watched, which I may put on there, which I'm going to put on there, is The Awakening. I rewatched that again, and yes, that is literally one of the best Fifth Doctor episodes. And the fact that it happened in the dark era of Eric Sayward, and it pulls it off fantastically.
Yeah. It's like one of the
good
episodes.
Rarity.
It's like one of the good episodes of season 21, right alongside bangers like The Caves of Zandrzani or Frontiers.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sean, what are you at?
I'm on Bluesky at DeathPrice2000. I blog at thekingandramblue.blogspot.com. I do articles for The Beat. I'm currently working on a book on media criticism and the rise of fascism that just passed 13,000 words. Ooh. And I am about to write about Ben fucking Shapiro.
Oh, God help you.
The fact that you're gonna have to watch multiple videos of his to get that all
do you have to do multiple videos? I can
get away with just two.
I feel like I would rather go watch. To be fully frank with you, I would rather go watch Irate Gamer than
Irate Gamer would be a delight.
History do not support watching Irate Gamer. Yeah. Also, I've been doing a Twin Peaks podcast, which will be recording our next episode later this week.
Yay! That's gonna be fun. So,
I love how like while we're doing this, I just did a practice spin of the wheel, and it landed on my Mike pick. It landed on freaking an idol wrestler is born.
What? Why are idol wrestlers on the wheel?
Yeah, no, you have one to be the strongest in the world.
Why is that on the wheel?
That's the first episode.
I don't understand this wheel sometimes, but
well, here's the thing. We needed some good options to counterbalance with stuff like Lee Harvey Oswald, Justice, In a Mirror Darkly. In a Mirror Darkly. One More Day.
In a Mirror. Well, let me just clarify. In a Mirror Darkly is like Lost Girls, where I'm the only one who has to watch it, and you two get to laugh at my suffering, right?
No, I don't. Like, I've said this before. I did not mind it. I did not mind it originally. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of what it's trying to do. It's trying to basically say that our universe morphed and modified the mirror universe so much to an extent that it changed it, almost completely. I like that concept of an idea.
You know, Mr. Kodo, it would have been less expensive if you just bought a DVD set of the original series if you loved it that much.
Yeah, instead of it being like the sequel to like 2 different episodes of TOS, and then you get like,
and then there's the cord.
It should have just been a random Constitution class finds its way into that, then the Enterprise crew finds it, then then I'd buy it. Not, oh, the Tholians, because of what they did in a Tholian web, sent the USS Defiant through time, back in time into a different universe.
Oh, Christ alive. Okay, before we get into a whole tangent, I'm cutting this off because we can talk about In the Mirror Darkly, the dark day, we spin it. So all that remains to be said, kids, is thank you very much for watching.
Jonathan Archer wears the green tunic.
Of course he does. All that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching, and we hope you enjoy whatever it is you watch next. Bye now.
So anyway, about Madlock,